Welcome everybody, my name is Ryan and we are back with more vintage story today. We're on episode number 11 if you can believe it, and I still have one life left. That's it, that's all we started with, and if we die the series is over. But so far it's been a walk in the park. Whoops, there we go. And just the lack of certain mods, but a few people have suggested one in particular that I did go ahead and add, and that is the hydrate or dihydrate. Is that it? Hydrate or dihydrate, I think is what it is. It's a funny name, but yeah, so it basically adds the need for liquids, and we can see we've got our hydration bar now here above our food bar. I was reading a bit about it, which is a change for me. Normally I just install mods because the title sounds cool and I don't read the description at all and just like go into it face first unknowing, but this time I read a bit. So of course I'm no expert, so please give me some tips, or if you see me doing something incorrectly or not adequately, let me know. But we are going to have to monitor our hydration now too, so really interesting. Initially I thought that was tied with also having to go to the bathroom, but I think that's a separate mod. The mod which I don't know that one, but that was one of the reasons I shied away from the hydration mod, just because I didn't want to have to constantly stop and go to the bathroom too. It just seemed like a little bit too much, but I'm definitely into just the liquids aspect of it, so we're gonna have some fun with that, learn it, and if I like it, you'll probably see it in future series too. So of course check the description of the YouTube video for my full mod list, and there's a playlist link down there too, so if you need to get caught up on this series or my other ones. But enough talking. Oh my gosh, speaking of previous episodes, look at what we've got here. So I did a little bit of prospecting and a whole lot of mining, and that was in the last episode, episode 10. Yeah, we came across, I was initially looking for the tin ore, which we found. I've got 64 plus another 4 and a beautiful crystallized chunk. And while we were down there underground, it's not too far. Let's see, it's out. Yeah, it was out here in the water. We entered around roughly this position. I dug a shaft and found a cave, which led me over here, which was amazing. 2 different copper strikes, 2 different tin strikes right there, and these are all cleared out, so there's nothing left there now. But, there might be, but if there is, it's going to be in a different location. We've got a bunch of bismuth too. This will probably turn into some lanterns at some point, but oh my gosh, yeah, look at that. I broke 2 copper pickaxes while we were down there. But I've got to do some sorting, and I need to cook something up here too. I left myself in kind of a situation with the food, but we can always just go down to the local bamboo cluster and dig up some bamboo shoots. Man, I'm sure Seraph is getting real tired of eating those, but one of these days the crops are going to come in, and you know what? By that point, hopefully we'll have a sailboat ready to go. So let's get things started today and flash forward to the morning. Sounds like there's a storm on the horizon, but the sun is up. So good morning, everybody. It's time to get to work. I've been doing just a little bit of inventory management. We're going to head down to the boat and see if we can work on that a little bit. I know that we need plumb and square, so let's look that up. I think we need 2 of these. We're waiting on the flax twine, so I have 1. It might not be a bad idea to just, we'll check the garden, of course, but we might just want to venture around, look for some crops. Maybe we'll come across some extra flax we can use, so we'll get to work as soon as we get that. But while we're out and about, I'd like to have some bronze tools cooling down and a bronze anvil. That's right, I believe we definitely have enough, so I put most of this stuff over here. Let's grab our crystals. We're going to do this together, measure this out. There's 24 of that. Let's get the tin ore, the nice dark color. Let's see, so I'm going to do 1800 units of tin bronze, so we'll definitely need quite a bit. To be honest, probably not a whole lot of cassiterite, but I'll just get us like a full stack. That's close enough. Now let's definitely get some copper. All right, good. And I've got a tiny bit of copper here. We'll use that up too. Oh, I could probably also grab the charcoal. There we go. Whoops, that's not the crucible. So if we just drop a whole stack, 600, 1200. What's this do? Probably nothing. I expect that's probably way too much tin ore, yeah. Okay, so... Boy, I still need more copper, don't I? Yeah, if I just drop that in there. 14. Remember, I'm trying to get it up to like 1800. Yeah. I do need a bit more there. We were at 1600 right there before it dropped off, so we are getting close. But wow. Hey, this is going to use most of the copper, but that's fine. That was kind of a bonus anyway. Like, I wasn't even truly prospecting for the copper when we went. It was more just, it was there. Like, I was looking around and stuff. Okay, so that's too much. Boom, look at this. This is how I do it. I just experiment, play around with it until I get the number I want. I don't, like, do the math. No. Nope, not at all. All right, so there we go. And, oh yeah, we don't need very much charcoal. That'll probably get us going. So, yeah, let's light that up. It'll take a few minutes, so we can probably dart over to the garden real quick. Just take a look. Oops, probably won't have time to do any harvesting. Maybe a little bit. Maybe we'll grab some stuff. Because I made some porridge overnight and filled myself up, but that's basically all the food we have. It's gone, so... Pit kilns are empty, and we might have to do our very first drink. Now, as I understand it, the source blocks of water, so like this lake over here, is going to be the least filling type. Looks like sunflowers are ready. Amaranth's close. Oh, nope, they're one stage away. Most of them are. Some of them are. So, what do we do? Crouch and drink. But at this point, yeah, I mean, it filled me up. So it did give me this yellow here. I don't actually know what that means right there. I probably read it, but I don't recall. Let's look at the flax we've got. Yeah, literally nothing here is ready. Oh, it's taken forever. But that's just how the crops are. Crops take time to grow. All right. Okay. I mean, we've got enough, I think. I hope I'll have enough to make the sales, but just got to give it more time. So, like I said, I'm just going to kind of search around. Let's play it safe and put a stack of dirt in our offhand just in case, you know. As I've said many times, we probably won't see any cats or any of the more dangerous wildlife mods that I've installed till we venture to a new area, but I am going to play it like we might, you know, just to be extra safe, get into that habit. It's very good to develop good habits, you know, especially in a survival situation, because your life may very well depend on it. So this could very well be the last stone tool that I ever make right here, but I had to make a knife blade because I broke my old stone one digging up bamboo shoots. But I did a quick circle of the immediate area here around the base. Unfortunately, no wild crops that were, you know, had any kind of food, so I just went right over there, boom, got some bamboo. But man, I tell you, this stuff right here has really made the vegetarian aspect of the challenge also very easy. But I tell you what, if there had not been bamboo, like if this wasn't so easily obtainable, we would definitely be struggling to feed ourselves at this point. I mean, I would be spending a lot more time concerned about food for sure, but anytime I need, I can just go down there and dig them up. So definitely easier, but not to worry. You know, we're still going to do another challenge after this, probably in the temperate, well, definitely in the regular, climate. So we'll have nothing but bears and wolves to deal with, and of course, probably some other animals too, but someone suggested maybe a protein only run. And for the next one, so we can do hardcore challenge with some various mods and stuff, but also put the self-imposed challenge that we're only allowed to eat meat as opposed to, fruits and veg and grain and stuff. That would be more of a challenge, I think, than strictly a vegetarian one for sure. But all right, we're almost ready to start pouring our tin bronze. Let's flash forward to that moment. Ooh, and there we go. 1,800 units of liquefied tin bronze. Let's get this white hot crucible out here. We will start with the back row first. And of course, I did count these, so I know exactly how much I needed. 1,800 should be perfect, including that anvil mold. So even though we're getting ready to set sail eventually, hopefully soon, we're not going to leave ill-prepared. We will have a nice set of bronze tools, and obviously I'm going to make a knife and maybe some other stuff with the ingots, but in addition, while we're still waiting for our crops to finish, I'm going to get out there and start looking for magnetite or hematite, iron ore of some sort, so we might actually be able to leave with some iron. Which, now that I actually say that and think about it a bit more, it could be a bit of a pain in the butt if I do actually find some, because I'm going to want to bring as much of it as I can with me, And so then I'll be struggling with inventory space on the boat. But one good thing is I've got 4 copper bars. These are going to get all turned into nails and strips, I'm pretty sure is what I'm going to do with those now that we've got an abundance of tin bronze. Yeah, and those will be turned into chests for the boat. So I think we should be good, because the boat itself can hold, like 6, maybe 8 chests? I think it's 6. We'll figure it out, obviously, when we build the boat. But, all right. Well, let's just do that. Let's grab the pro pick here. Obviously, I can put the crucible away. I want to take the boards and the logs down to the coastline there and just drop them off where the boat is. So we'll do that. And I've got some stupid seeds on me. Oh, and I need to get a drink. Oh, let's go down to the water's edge, have a drink. Now, wait, I think this is salt water. I don't remember the mod saying anything about drinking from the salt water. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Well, let's just see. All right, I got my seeds here. Any room? That's all seed stuff. Anything in here? Okay, we got some extra logs. I'll just keep that for firewood, probably. All right, let me get rid of this stuff. I'm going to set down all the planks real quick. Okay, there we go. Pretty good stack. And yeah, let's see if we can just drink right here. Hopefully. I don't think there's any... Oh, that completely depleted my thirst. No way. Oh my god, we gotta run. I can barely move. It feels like I'm slowed now, too. Oh, yeah, and the health loss is twice the rate for starvation as it is for dehydrating. So, whoa, I didn't even recall reading that aspect. If you drink salt water, apparently it completely eliminates all your hydration. I mean, it makes sense, You got to be a complete crazy person to drink, or really, really desperate to drink ocean water. But we're going to try and drag our way over to our little pond. Wow, so... Oh boy. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Maybe I should get a bucket. Is there actually like a guide? A guide to raising dragons? We'll read that one later. Oh, I should note, the dragon egg we found, we are going to raise it. You better believe that. But, I was kind of waiting until we set up a more permanent base. So we'll have to do that. That will be a priority, though. Give us a reason to settle down as opposed to just like exploring constantly. Brewing. I'm just looking for anything about water. Here we go. Sweet. All the way at the bottom. I should probably be reading this indoors where I'm not, potentially going to get kicked by a horse or something, or bit in the butt by a hyena. Hot temperatures cause it to go faster. Death. Okay. Liquid encumbrance carrying more than 4 liters of liquid in container will slow you down. So that's what I'm thinking of. I want containers Oh, and we also want to collect rainwater too, because apparently it's better. Drinking from water sources by holding down control right click on a block. However, drinking this increases hunger. That's what this is right here. It's processing drinks making soups is better. So processing drinks. Salt water is extremely unsafe to drink. Whoopsie. So be careful. Rainwater collection. Yeah, I can now collect rainwater. Great mid to early game. Kegs. So I think, yeah, that's how we'll process the water. With negative saturation, as they can call nutrition deficit. Is that what that is? Probably. Shown it as an orange marker of your saturation bar. While you have any nutrition deficit, food will not provide any nutrition. Every bit of satiation you consume will gradually reduce the deficit. Oh. So in a way that's kind of taking the place of like being sick. If you could think of it like that, because if you're just drinking water straight up like this, typically in a survival situation, you would avoid that because it would make you sick, potentially. So I guess that's compensating for it, in a way, adding an extra layer of difficulty to your food, because there is no real sickness in the game. But I think one of the things they're going to be adding in the next big update is like buffs. Didn't they talk about buffs and debuffs and stuff like that? So... well, shoot. You know what this means? Actually, no. I was going to say we have to use our precious linen cordage, but I think we can actually use rope to make buckets, can't we? Oh my god, I just put all my boards away. Let me grab the boards. We'll start getting buckets laid out, and oh my gosh, this food's going to become a real issue here. I see, okay. Well, it's not too bad. Clearing out that orange deficit bar, that wasn't terrible. Alright, we'll just fill up on bamboo shoots, the savior of the run here. Alright, oh, and it's raining over here too, so it is like this, and then like that. Yeah, I can tell I'm going to need a lot of buckets. Are they filling? Are they filling up? Where's my water? I need the precious rainwater. Well, we'll give it some time. It is raining, definitely. Transfer liquid. Now it shows they're empty still. Huh. Maybe I'll just give it some time. Yeah, definitely can hold liquid. Interesting. Well, I also need to maybe make some barrels too. That could be helpful. I don't want to make too many of those because, well, obviously, we're going to have to drag them through the ocean with us on our boat. The keg, yeah, that'll be something more permanent. Alright, I got to go get some sticks, but I only need 3 boards, so we'll just do 9 like that. Yeah, so that'll be 3 barrels worth. Hey, and I can also start soaking that cassava, too. Maybe we can get an extra food source going. Hey, well, looks like I've been in the world long enough that we do have some mature sunflowers. That's the first ones. Wow. Oh, look, it's, yeah, negative 30 hydration there. Interesting. Yeah, okay. But I spoke about how I never came across any of the, like fully grown sunflowers, but I assume I just needed to give it a bit more time before then. So I'm currently out here just stripping the poor trees, humiliating them. This guy humiliated me, though. I didn't get a single ebony seed from that dude. But there's still a couple blocks of leaf there. I should probably just cut down every single little piece of leaf from those ebony trees. But, you know, when we do set sail, I'm not planning on leaving the tropics necessarily, at least not right away. We're still going to set up our base here in the warmer climate, so hopefully we'll have access to some close-by ebony trees. Alright, it is dark outside, but I've got a long night of blacksmithing ahead of me. We're going to, well, I'm going to do 8 ingots worth. We're going to do some nails and strips, a knife, who knows what else. But I've got some water over here with me. The cassava is just sitting there. I thought I had to soak the soybeans, but honestly, I don't really know how these work. Without expanded foods and a culinary artillery, I think we just throw it into soups and stews and stuff, but Hopefully it'll go in porridge. I don't know. I'll have to experiment with the soybeans because I can't eat them directly. But either way, I've got the barrels out here. Yeah, they're not under the roof, so I'm hoping we get water. The buckets did not collect a single bit of rainwater when they were down there by the boat, though, unfortunately. So I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, this I got from down there. And it does slow you down quite a bit. When you carry water with you, yeah, you're much slower. Even when I sprint, it feels like I've got like a chest on my back with the carry-on mod or something. But all right, it's time. Let's see. Is it best to hammer it? Yeah, like this. I was going to say into plates first. No, that's only if we have the health hammer, I believe. Oh, there goes my hammer. But yeah, this way I will need 2 ingots, but I won't have to go through the extra step of hammering out a plate first. But if you do have the health hammer up and running, then, and you're planning on making some nails and strips, just use the health hammer to turn them into plates first, because going from plates to nails and strips is super easy. You basically just take out the 2 lines and that's it. You're done. But yeah, don't think there would be enough bits even if I extracted the little bit from the insides here. I think it will still technically require 2 ingots. There we go. Almost looked like I moved 2 bits there at once for a second, didn't it? That was kind of weird. All right. Yeah, I can see we don't have enough, so I'll just knock these into place, grab the other ingots, and these are going to be all for chests. Boom. Bam. And on we go. Let's get the blacksmithing done. Then, like I said, the 10 ingots are next, 10 bronze, and I probably should make another pair of shears. I've almost broken my copper ones, but shears are annoying to make. It's one of those blacksmithing jobs that's similar to the anvil and a couple other pieces. I mean, they're just tricky. You know, the shield components too. What is it? The boss? Is that what it's called? Yeah, one of those shield components is always kind of a pain in the butt, but either way, not to worry. You know, the great part about doing this stuff, when you have XSkills, the XSkills in mod installed, you're always working towards something. You know, you're always getting a little bit of experience as you're going. So even if it's not necessarily your most favorite task, like blacksmithing or pottery making or something kind of boring like that, at least you know you're working towards a better goal. All right. Well, there we go. The metalworking is done for the night. I made some shears, a saw blade, and a chisel, in addition to a new knife, too. So let's go ahead and quench these off. Actually, I don't really need to quench this. I can just turn that right into the saw. My copper saw is still intact, but obviously it's good to have a backup for it. And boom, there we go. Now, don't you think there should be some sort of penalty to us drinking water, which I've quenched hot metal in? I guess not. No big deal. Didn't rain overnight, though, so I'm still stuck drinking the puddle water or whatever, the source block water. So, yeah, my bamboo shoots are starting to get low. We're going to have to head over and check our garden first thing this morning. Really hoping that gets grown quickly. I should just make some, actually, let's just make some tool racks real quick. These are, now that I've got some shears, not a big deal for us to make them. But, yeah, I'm going to start the chisel. I'm not actually going to be doing much chiseling. Maybe eventually we will. But for right now, it's basically just to break down some of these pieces. Oh, you can't put the tools or the fire starter up there, can you? Yeah, let's see. We'll put that away. That I am going to keep the prospecting pick for now. Nails and strips. Yeah. I think I'm just going to put them away for the moment. We will obviously make some chests very shortly, but right now we got a few other things to take care of. Oops, and one last thing. Put that away. All right, so let's come down here, take a look. Yeah, because all my broken copper tool heads I've been putting over here. So we'll have a little bit left. And, of course, we can reclaim the anvil, too. Get some bars back for that. I think I need the hammer, too. No, never mind. I do not need the hammer. Let's go ahead and just do that. Beautiful. See, I even brought a little saltpeter up from our visit underground recently, but I'll just take the chisel. Wow, almost broke and took off more than half of that chisel's durability. Dang. All right, let's get the charcoal put away. There we go. Doing pretty good on charcoal now. I think we'll hold off on making more, at least for the moment, but all right, let's nibble on our bamboo shoots. Oh my god, I just dropped into my own charcoal pit here, people. There we go. Yeah, let's... So I guess the best thing to do is to fill yourself up first and then drink water if you know you're not going to be drinking, anything good. There we go. Will help kind of minimize the impact of that food deficiency. All right, 11 of 12, 11 of 12. Man, this stuff just feels like it's like watching paint dry. Oh, okay. I do have some mature amaranth. Ah, beautiful. Very nice. Yeah, we'll be making some porridge tonight. Problem is I don't have any veggies or any fruit. You know what? Let's go to the savannah. See if maybe we can get some saguaro, some cactus fruit. Yeah, that'll be a really nice addition to some porridge. Actually has a little bit of a healing buff on it too, but all right, what do we end up? 30 grain. Yeah, that's actually great. And I'm honestly to the point where I've got enough seeds, I'm not even worried about them. I'm just going to toss them out. All right, I think that's all. Yep. All right, let's head to the savannah. Our little saguaros they're sprouting, but not quite big enough to provide us with any delicious fruit yet. And we are coming up to our goat pen over here. Haven't found any cactus fruit yet, but we'll go looking around. It's a decent sized little savannah area. So let's check on these two. Yeah, okay. They're fully grown now. The male is. The female already was. Pretty sure they're mother and son, but that doesn't matter for the purposes of vintage story animal husbandry. Maybe there's a mod that changes that. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll just release them since we're going to pick up stakes. It's not like I'm going to take wild goats with me. We'll just trap some others at whatever location we actually settle down, So, it'd be a shame to just leave them trapped in there like that. Although they will be safer, No hyenas will be ever able to get them. Even more. Wow, 3 fully grown amaranth. I guess it makes sense. Oh, that's right. So I just got a point in farming, but I got a point in metalworking too. I wanted to pick our first trait here, first skill together. I think I don't need metal recovery. We have bit recovery thanks to smithing plus. To do this would be redundant. I think I'm going to do heating hits. I need 2% less metal. No, I don't like that one. Hammer Expert's not bad, but heating hits eventually, if we take Metal Worker, then we receive more experience. I think, actually, is it Blacksmith? Yeah, Blacksmith, once we take this, if we do, which I probably will, our items will start having a quality like common, uncommon, rare, and when we quench them, we can actually increase the quality, and the higher the temperature, the more chance of like a better rarity, essentially. So it's a little bit weird, but once you get the hang of it, it makes sense. And heating hits plays into that real nicely because it'll get more and more hot the more we work on it. So by the time we're ready to quench it, we should have a better opportunity for rarity. So it's a long-term pick. In other words, it's not going to help me too much now, but it will down the road as we pick more traits and they start to combo with each other. So, farming, green thumb increases yield of harvested crops, increase the yield of gathered seeds, increase yield from harvesting grass, berry bushes, reeds, mushrooms. We'll do green thumb, pretty straightforward. Yeah, those are only points I have right now, but You know, I swear there were cactus around here somewhere. I know I didn't take all of them, but either way, the thunderstorm, I can hear it in the distance. Hope my barrels are filling up with rainwater. Wait. I'm going to have to do something different with them. Maybe there's, I don't know, something I'm doing wrong, not collecting the actual water. Yep, it's kind of weird how you can outrun a hyena, isn't it? Like, I don't even need to tower up. Okay. No cactus. Ah, well. We got a little bit extra grain. And, yeah, that's it. So, let's take a little drink here from the pond. Out of the way. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I see the red circle. That's telling me that it's salt water, isn't it? Okay. So it actually does have a bit of an indicator. Yeah, I actually drank it, though, because my hydration just tanked. I didn't bring any buckets with me because it slows me down. I have to look up, like, a canteen or something. Maybe there's a small container you can carry just for topping off, you know, your hydration. Or if you accidentally drink some of the ocean, as I just did. Well, I was thinking maybe buckets aren't technically water containers, so I decided to go ahead and craft up some jugs here. That'll be good too, because one thing that it does say is juice will pause your hydration need, at least for a temporary amount of time. So juice is obviously better, you know, than just source block water. Probably better than rainwater too, I would imagine. I haven't quite tested that, but yeah, jugs will be good for the juice as well. So I just don't want to make, you know, too many. It's really just a balance at this point. Otherwise I would just do a full run, like, you know, 12 jugs or whatever. But for now we got to keep it small. Let's see. All right, put that away. Looking good. Don't really need the ladders, but they're just in my inventory. We'll drop them off. There we go. Okay, so firewood. We'll get that started. And maybe we'll do, there we go, a little bit of prospecting. Not much else we can. I mean, I guess I could get out there and search for more currant bushes. Speaking of which, are these things ever going to grow? Will flower in 11 to 12 days. Okay. Well, I'll believe it when I see it, that's for sure. I was also kind of hoping maybe I could carry these jugs around with water in them and it wouldn't give me the speed penalty? I don't know. Because I think it says if it's over 2 liters, is that what it said? Then you get the penalty. But I mean, I know that jugs are just 1 liter, right? I feel like I'm pretty fast now. Maybe it was under 4 liters. Well, either way, yeah. I'm going to keep this with me so I don't run out of water. But, all right. I guess I'll come over to the garden one more time. I don't think it's going to help things, just continually checking it. But there's some more amaranth here. Okay. Yeah, see, it does help. Me coming over here constantly and just hovering over stuff, I'm sure that's real helpful. No. But let's take a brief moment to look at the map, because we did get a magnetite reading here, and I think that was our best one. Oh, well, there's hematite there, but it's minuscule. Minuscule hematite out under the bay, too. Well, that magnetite, very poor. Like I said, that's our best one. So I think we should kind of head over in this direction, take some readings by the water and stuff. Yeah. I think in real life, hematite, at least, one of the varieties which can occur, has a tendency to occur where like old ancient lakes or waterways used to be, I think. Because it's laid down like it's a bacteria that created the iron ore or whatever. But either way, okay, so I mean, this is as good a spot as any, right? It's far enough away from my last reading. It is amazing just how much we owe, you know, technology-wise, and, I mean, everything to bacterial growth, cheese, all that stuff. So many different medicines wouldn't be available to us. All right, so we'll do a long range. Yeah, long range. good spot. Do one here. And then normally what I do is I'll go in perpendicular now. I should have brought my other shovel. I'll have to go back. That's okay. All right, this is far enough. Can't be too close, but you also don't want it too far. Hematite still minuscule. Halite readings. Oh, the magnetite is actually, okay, that's what we're looking for, not hematite, magnetite. So that did go up, magnetite. It's still very poor, and it's 0.18%. You know, our best bet probably would be like maybe about here-ish. Yeah, let's go over to this little cove and take a reading there. Okay, we're just underneath the ground, obviously, near the bay here. Let's take our final sample. See what we get right here. The magnetite readings are going up. Still shows us it's very important. Man, it's showing high saphirolite, very high bismuth. There's some good ores and stuff. Look at the halite reading. This is titanium ore, which we could eventually use to help us make steel. Wow, yeah, really nice readings over here. Boy, oh boy, it's a shame we've got to leave the area, but yeah, it's starting to get dark now too. I'd like to venture up north, maybe start taking some readings here. It definitely seems like the more we go east, the better our magnetite readings are too. So we would probably be smart to take like a magnetite reading here, maybe even one like right here too. Just boom, boom. It's not chunk based too. That's something that's very explicit. If you read the wiki about the prospecting pick, it doesn't take samples from the chunks. It takes them from positions, which I can't really tell you exactly what a position is defined as, but you just don't want to take them basically right on top of each other. You know, you give it a little bit of distance before you take another one. But, you know, that was a mistake I made. When I first started, for some whatever reason, I thought if I just continually took samples over and over again, like I could get better results or something. I don't know. The prospecting is a little bit confusing at first, especially for newer players. But I tell you, once you do get the hang of it, it's almost impossible for me to find ores without it now. You're really just randomly digging out stuff like strip mining, essentially, like you would do in a Minecraft world. But in Minecraft, you can predict more like where diamond is going to be. You know, it's going to be at a certain Z level. And so if you just spend enough time strip mining below, you know, whatever, level 20 or whatever, you'll get diamonds. But that is not the case here. You could spend days strip mining, you know, at a certain Z level below ground and never come across hematite just because it's not spawned in that area. But of course, without a prospecting pick, you would never know it. So it's a great addition to the game. I just feel like they may be like new players would definitely be serviced a little bit better, I think, by maybe tweaking the way that the readings are listed. I don't know, because having the verbal indicator as well as the percent, but then they actually don't really correspond, because you see like very poor, but like the percent is like higher than any of the other very poor ones. So again, it can be confusing if you're new to it and you don't want to spend time like poring over a wiki page trying to figure out what the heck it all means. But definitely try and get the hang of it. If you're new to Vintage Story, learn the prospecting pick. I've got a short tutorial video, and there's many other creators out there who have helped, you know, create good content, not just for the prospecting pick, but for so many different aspects of Vintage Story. This game, guys, it's going to take off, I'll tell you that. It's getting more and more popular every day, and I'm going to continue to make more content for it in all the years to come, too. I mean, this game is only going to get better with its development cycle, and eventually it'll get put on Steam, and that will really help the mod scene quite a bit, in my personal opinion. I think that's number one reason why they should consider putting it on Steam. Not really for profits or anything like that, because as they've stated, you know, on their interviews and on their website, you know, they don't need the money necessarily, but I think it would definitely encourage a lot more third-party mod activity. I mean, just look at the library for RimWorld. It's got something like over 400,000 mods, on the Steam Workshop. But either way, I digress from the whole point. We've had a pretty laid-back episode today. Here we are, back at the hut, just waiting on our crops to grow. That's really what we're doing, people. But I tell you what, once we get that sailboat going, things are going to get a lot more exciting and intense because, now we're going to have to go ashore just to get water, not only search for a place to build a base, but we're going to be forced to stop on our journeys and stuff. And as I've said, we won't go too far. I don't want to leave the southern regions. We're not going to go up north or anything. We'll just start exploring some of the regions here which haven't been uncovered yet. And I'm sure we'll find a nice little place, probably going to be crawling with big cats, but that'll just be one of the challenges we'll have to face. So thank you everybody for tuning in for this episode. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.